Some insects can cause you hours of pain, while some will straight up put you in a body bag. These are the 7 levels of deadliest insects. By the end of this, you'll never look at a buzzing sound the same way again. Level 1. The Bombardier beetle. The Bombardier beetle looks like something you'd ignore on a hiking trail. Small, unremarkable, vaguely shiny. And then it points its rear end at you and fires a boiling chemical explosion directly at your face. No, seriously. This beetle mixes 2 compounds, hydroquinone and hydrogen peroxide, inside a specialized chamber in its abdomen. The resulting reaction hits 100 degrees Celsius and fires in rapid pulses up to 500 times per second. It can rotate its aim almost 270 degrees. It has essentially invented the machine gun, except it shoots boiling acid, and it lives under rocks in your garden. Is it gonna kill you? Probably not. It'll burn your skin, blind you temporarily if it hits your eyes, and ruin your entire week. Predators that try to swallow it have been found to spit it back out alive up to 44 minutes later. The beetle just sat inside a toad's stomach, fired its cannon, and walked out. Level 2, the Tarantula hawk wasp. The tarantula hawk is a wasp so large and so aggressively engineered that it hunts tarantulas for sport. It paralyzes spiders bigger than its own body, drags them into a burrow, lays an egg inside them while they're still alive, then seals the entrance. The larva hatches and eats the still-living spider from the inside out, saving the vital organs for last to keep the meal fresh. This is not an insect. This is a horror film in wasp form. For humans, the sting registers a 4 on the Schmidt Pain Index, the second highest score on the scale. Justin Schmidt, the entomologist who created the index by voluntarily letting insects sting him, described the tarantula hawk sting as blinding, fierce, and shockingly electric. His advice for dealing with it was to simply lie down and start screaming. The pain only lasts about 3 minutes. The memory lasts considerably longer. It's level 2 and not higher because it genuinely doesn't want to sting you. It's too busy committing crimes against spiders. But if you accidentally grab one, congratulations. You've booked yourself 3 of the worst minutes of your life. Level 3. The bullet ant. The bullet ant earns its name, honestly. Being stung by one reportedly feels exactly like being shot. Not like a minor injury, like a bullet. Justin Schmidt gave it a 4+ on his pain index, the only insect to score higher than the tarantula hawk, and described it as pure, intense, brilliant pain, like walking over flaming charcoal with a 3-inch nail embedded in your heel. The pain lasts 24 hours. Not the sharp initial spike, the full, unrelenting agony for a full day. The Soderma people of the Brazilian Amazon use bullet ants in a coming-of-age ritual. Young men weave hundreds of live, sedated ants into gloves, wait for them to wake up, then wear the gloves for 10 minutes while the ants sting repeatedly. To complete the trial, you have to do this 20 times without showing pain. That's the tradition. That's the test of manhood. Here's the kicker. The bullet ant venom isn't actually particularly dangerous to most healthy adults. The toxin, ponerotoxin, causes severe pain and some neurological disruption, but very rarely kills. The bullet ant is level 4, not because it will end you, but because it will make you wish it had. Level 4, the Death Stalker scorpion. Whoever named the scorpion was either a genius or had just been stung by one. The Death Stalker is responsible for 75% of all scorpion-related deaths globally, despite not being the largest or the most visually threatening scorpion on Earth. It's a pale yellow color, roughly 10 centimeters long and looks almost delicate compared to the big black emperor scorpions you see in pet shops. Do not be fooled by the delicate look. The venom is a cocktail of neurotoxins, including chlorotoxin, skylotoxin, and agitoxin. Together, they attack the nervous system, the heart, and the lungs simultaneously. Symptoms include uncontrollable convulsions, pulmonary edema, and cardiac failure. In children, the elderly, and anyone with compromised health, a single sting is frequently fatal without rapid anti-venom treatment. The death stalker lives across North Africa in the Middle East, in dry environments where it hides under rock and debris. It's small enough to be overlooked, fast enough to sting before you react, and potent enough that an untreated sting turns into a medical emergency within hours. Level 5. The driver ant. Everything on this list has been threatening in a way you could understand. One sting, one attack, one bad encounter. The driver ant doesn't work like that. Driver ants operate as a superorganism. A single colony contains up to 22 million individuals. When the colony moves, it moves as a single entity up to 20 meters wide, consuming every living thing in its path. Insect, reptiles, small mammals, livestock. There are documented cases of people who were incapacitated or unconscious being killed when a driver ant column passed through. Not stung once, consumed. Their mandibles are so powerful and so precisely shaped that in parts of Central and West Africa, they're used as emergency sutures. You hold the wound closed, let the ant bite across the gap, then twist off the body. The head and locked jaws hold the wound shut. Field surgery. No kit required. The colonies don't have permanent nests. They are the nest. They form living structures using their own bodies, dismantling and rebuilding as they move. The queen can lay up to 3 to 4 million eggs per month. This is not a colony. It is a mobile, self-rebuilding, 22 million strong army with mandibles. A single driver ant won't kill you. Neither will 10. But when you hear a rustling sound moving towards you in the dark of an African forest, and the sound gets louder and wider, and then you look down, that's not a rustle. That's level 5. That's the column arriving. Level 6. The Tsetse fly. The Tsetse fly looks like something you'd wave away without a second thought. Brownish, roughly house-sized fly, utterly unremarkable. And that's exactly the problem. The most dangerous things rarely look the part. The Tsetse fly is the primary vector for African sleeping sickness, a parasitic disease caused by the Trypanosoma brucei. The fly bites, the parasite enters the bloodstream, and what follows is one of the most drawn-out, insidious disease progressions in the natural world. Stage 1 brings fever, headaches, joint pain, standard enough that most victims don't realize what's coming. Stage 2 is when the parasite crosses the blood-brain barrier and attacks the central nervous system directly. Sleep cycles collapse, personality changes, neurological deterioration accelerates. Without treatment, it is almost always fatal. What makes sleeping sickness particularly cruel is the timeline. Symptoms can take weeks or months to fully emerge. By the time a diagnosis is confirmed, the parasite has often already reached the brain. Historic epidemics devastated entire communities across sub-Saharan Africa. One outbreak in the early 20th century killed an estimated 500,000 people in the Congo basin alone. Modern intervention has dramatically reduced death tolls, but the Tsetse fly still infests tens of thousands annually across 36 African countries. And the regions it inhabits, roughly 10 million square kilometers of sub-Saharan Africa, remain under constant threat. Level 7. The mosquito. You knew this was coming. The mosquito is the deadliest animal on the planet. Not the deadliest insect, the deadliest animal. Full stop. Sharks kill roughly 10 people per year globally. Crocodiles, around 1,000. The mosquito kills somewhere between 725,000 and 1 million human beings every single year. and have been doing so consistently for most of recorded history. It is estimated that mosquitoes have killed more humans than all wars in history combined. That number sounds absurd until you sit with it for a moment. Every army, every battle, every conflict humanity has ever waged outpaced by a 3-milligram insect with a proboscis and a preference for standing water. Malaria alone, transmitted by Anopheles mosquitoes, kills over 600,000 people annually, the majority of them children under 5 in sub-Saharan Africa. Then there's the dengue fever, infecting up to 400 million people per year. Yellow fever, Zika, West Nile virus, chikungunya. The mosquito is not a specialist. It is a generalist delivery system for some of the worst diseases evolution has ever produced. We've spent billions trying to eradicate it. We've released genetically modified populations to suppress breeding. We've drained swamps, invented DEET, and hung nets across millions of beds. The mosquito is still here, still winning. Everything else on this list is a threat you might encounter. The mosquito is a threat you already live alongside. Level 7 was never going to be anything else.